It was a warm, breezy afternoon on my ranch, the kind of day that invited neighbors to wander and explore. Usually, I welcomed the community, but this time the HOA had crossed a line. Word spread that certain members had been using my private ranch storage facility as a dumping ground for their unused items, claiming it was community property. I had tolerated small oversights in the past, but this was blatant disrespect. My storage facility wasn't a playground. It was my property, and it held tools, equipment, and personal belongings I couldn't simply replace. I received the first text at 9 a.m. Your storage unit is full of community items. Everyone is using it. My initial reaction was disbelief, followed quickly by anger. They had ignored every sign, every fence marker, and every polite notice I had sent out. So, I decided to take matters into my own hands. By mid-morning, I called in the team to help me prepare. We created a detailed inventory of every item in the storage facility, documenting its condition, owner, and value. Then, I sent a polite notice to the HOA, warning them that unauthorized access would no longer be tolerated. Their reaction was predictable. Indignant emails, phone calls, and threats of legal action. I smiled. The rules were clear, and I knew exactly how to enforce them. By noon, the first group of trespassers arrived, expecting to continue their self-appointed community cleanup. What they found instead was a fully organized facility with every item clearly marked and cataloged. At the entrance, I had set up a notice in bold letters. Unauthorized items will be auctioned. Entry without permission is trespassing. One of the more vocal members scoffed. You can't do that. These are community items. Oh, really? I replied calmly. Let me clarify. This is private property. Anything stored here without permission is considered abandoned, and I am legally allowed to dispose of it as I see fit. That includes selling it. Their outrage was instantaneous. They began arguing, trying to assert their HOA authority. I let them vent, silently enjoying their frustration. Then, with the help of my team, we organized an impromptu auction right there on the ranch grounds. Each item was clearly labeled with its original owner's name, and we offered them to the highest bidder. Ironically, some of the items ended up being purchased by the same HOA members who had claimed them, now paying full price. By mid-afternoon, the lesson was reinforced. The message was clear: my property, my rules. The so-called community items were gone. The storage facility was back under my control, and the HOA members had learned a costly lesson about entitlement. As the sun began to set over the rolling hills of the ranch, I walked through the facility, inspecting the remaining items. Everything was secure, orderly, and exactly as it should be. The HOA may have tried to assert control, but in the end, their actions only highlighted their lack of understanding about property rights. The story spread quickly, becoming a cautionary tale for anyone who thought they could bypass legal boundaries or personal ownership. My ranch storage facility wasn't just a building. It was a symbol of respect, authority, and the consequences of overstepping bounds. Karen and her HOA cronies would think twice before trying anything like this again. By the time night fell, the facility was locked, the grounds quiet, and the lesson firmly etched into the minds of those who had dared challenge me. On my ranch, control was absolute, respect was mandatory, and every trespass came with consequences.